All right.
Yeah, let's ping a
Hello, everybody,
let's
and
ping a
welcome.
thousand people on the Discord. Get it
Nice.
fucked.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the JH Show. We are back with another fun week. We have some very special guests on. Uh, Let me introduce ThatKarsonDude, the owner of AU, and SmileDemon, a staff and admin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Uh,
is AU?
Alcoholics Unanimous. It is a club in VRChat, one of the oldest, too, and one of the biggest. So, hell yeah. Welcome. This is gonna be
Yes,
fun.
thank you. Thank you for having us.
Nice.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
one of
thanks,
the.
man.
We don't really use the whole admin role over there. He's just one. He's one of the moderating staff members. We don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So
I'm one of our hosts.
Cool.
yeah,
I host events for us.
yeah. We got
Yeah.
How long have
wonderful
you guys been
alcoholic names
around?
or custom names. Close to 3 years now. Publicly close to 3 years now.
Yeah.
The Discord's been up for much longer than that, but wasn't used for public reasons until I ran across the drinking community in VRChat, and that's actually a really fun
Yeah.
story of
Yeah,
how we
that
got started. We can touch base on that
yes.
eventually, but so
It's funny because I met you when FBT was like brand new. Like that's where I met you the first time. And
Mhm.
yeah, so that's kind of how we connected. That was a while back, wasn't it?
yeah, it's been quite some time.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And I think I met Demon around the same time too, because I was both friends
Um,
with you like pretty
we
early on.
we actually I think I met you in AU. Because I believe it was probably at one of my events.
Yeah, it could have been.
Because I was running the Thursday event, the
Oh,
repeating one on Thursdays.
yeah. Yeah.
Fightful Thursdays. What did you call it? I can't remember. You had a unique name for it.
Twisted Thursdays.
Yeah, that's
Twisted.
right. Twisted Thursdays.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's how I met them. And I think Jaden, you know them, right?
No, I've never met
No,
either of
you've
them
never
until
met them.
today.
Okay.
No, we don't exist. It's
This
fine.
will be fun for you, bro. We got a lot of stories to tell, dude. This is gonna
Oh
be
Lord.
wild.
Oh Jesus.
Um, but yeah, so it's fun. I was talking to Carson before we started the podcast about like world building because I built this world and it's fun to
Hmm.
go on the ramble of just talking about how you built things with other creators and stuff. So, um, why like what was your idea design base of building that VRChat world?
Okay, that's a fun story actually. So take back 3 years ago when I was first trying to learn how to build worlds. I had absolutely no idea what the heck I was doing. I was
Yeah.
loading up Unity, taking a square, stretching it into a wall, trying to make a couch out of it. Absolute garbage. And one day I'll actually take and show you my very first world, which is not public for a reason. Um, but so and as a lot of people do, you start digging around either the Unity asset store or different places online to look for prefabs,
Right.
something that you can just drag and drop
Yep.
and start working with your world. So like I said, a few years back, since, the actual Club AU world's been up for over 2 years now. It was published, then I took it back down from public to private for a while to work on it, then republished it again back into Community Labs. So, but when I first brought it up, I was hunting around and I found Trisect Games standalone VR game back then that was a club map.
Yeah.
And the guy designed it originally to basically be a standalone VR game, or as actually a desktop game where you just hop in and using the Unity engine and go around and interact as in a club. And then he kind of stomped on the project, put it on the Unity store, and was selling it for people to use the bar props, the DJ booth props, the
Yeah.
couches, and
Yeah.
all
That
this
that
stuff.
asset pack's pretty used across
It is. You
you
see
know.
it everywhere.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I was very new to making worlds, and I was just like, you know what? He's got a preset scene in here. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm gonna drag and drop that bad boy into Unity. I'm gonna drop the freaking SDK, and we're gonna press play, and we did. And the world was massive. You're talking about
Yeah,
over
yeah,
two
because
years
there's
ago.
so many like items in that
It,
world in the asset pack.
it was it was almost 400 megabytes, and
Yeah.
we used it for like a
Holy
couple of
cow.
weeks, and we're just like, good lord, man! Everybody I talked to, like my poor internet, it took me like 20 minutes to
Yeah,
download the
it's
world,
huge.
you know.
Mhm.
And so we played around with that, but it's a prefab. It's a giant prefab, and then I used it, and that's exactly what the descriptor used to be. So this is a prefab used by the Discord
Right.
for our events, and I rocked that for well over a year, and just kept on
Jeez.
manipulating it and learning, basically using it as a tool while we partied in it, and learning how to get better at world creating and doing things and optimizing it mainly.
Right.
The very first collab event we had there, and this is when Udon first came out, we had, I think it was like 5 Discords all got together and decided to join one lobby. And
Oh,
when
wow.
Udon first came out, there was no like suggested 80 cap. As many people as
Right.
you could jump in
Right.
that bad
Yeah.
boy, it would fill the lobby full.
Yeah.
Some people said we hit a numbers, like 135, 137. I saw 124 people all in the
Jesus.
same lobby. And like I said, this was a couple years ago
How
before.
laggy was
this,
that?
it was a nightmare, man.
Oh,
Absolute
bro.
nightmare.
Like literally throw it on max safety settings and
Yeah.
maybe you'll survive.
We had a good time though, but the
Yeah.
world was so massive, the different Discords end up being in different sections of the world and just kind of hanging
Yeah,
out with
because
their
of the
normal
yeah.
people, not really
Yeah.
intermingling. The whole point of doing like a collab event is to meet new people, mesh
Right.
with other clubs. And then where it's at now is just trial and error. It's doing a lot of research, talking to other world creators, spending a lot of time, watching videos, and then of course I got a lot of great community members that help me do research. CC helps them find stuff for me. Nanabo Show helps them find stuff for me. Cruel has been out there.
And
All these
it's a
people
team
who,
effort. Like the whole thing is just a team effort. So,
yeah, and they find little things. We find little things, but the one thing that the main purpose of the whole thing was for me to optimize it as much as possible so you can fit as many people in one lobby.
right.
And it doesn't matter. You can have just a plain box, and you could fit 40 people in there in very poor avatars, and you're still going to get bad frames, especially if you're showing them all.
And that was like,
but it's came a long ways.
It's come so far along, and it's so good. Like the way it's optimized now is much better, obviously, and the events go so well. And like each time I'm in there, it's pretty packed, and that's awesome to see. And not only that, but to be a part of it and DJ for that club, it's great. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
we absolutely love the whole DJ community. As you know, I every time we have people DJ, I try my best to get their name put in the world. We try to get a banner put up for them to display their Twitch. Get on Twitter, and kind of, post their Twitch link. I actually got a warning last event we had because I posted too many links in too short a period of time on
really?
Twitter, because I was spamming like all the different DJ links to get them views on their Twitch streams and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, most of the DJs that come there absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
mean, it has its quirks and flaws, just like most worlds that are out there. So, and that's the reason.
For those of you that don't know, there's an upstairs VIP room in this world, and it is. I want to see it. I want to see it someday because it looks sick. What is it like up there?
Well, you're on the whitelist when we have events because you're a DJ.
Yeah.
So all the DJs get whitelists up there. But if you ever saw the original prefab, it's what they called the boss room in the original prefab.
Yeah.
Now I've tweaked it around and moved it around, stuff like that. But we got a specialized game up there, a specialized dancing platform for stuff like that. Of course, there's a monitor screen up there so you can watch the live streams with DJs from the VIP box.
Yeah,
and that's something new
cool.
we just added to the world.
Yeah.
So,
We do still have the green room, right?
No, we took the green room down because we had our own smoke room, our own little green room, and it was a fantastic concept. But there's so many people that was joining the little crews that would go off to smoke and just kind of do like little 420s cheers.
Yeah, you'd see a little like a giant like
just a bubble of people.
Train of people. Yeah, just like a giant group of people. Like you'd have everybody in the red room. And then everybody would just be like, yo, 420 cheers. And you'd see like half the room migrate away, go into the smoke room for like a good 10 minutes. And then like this giant group of people would just.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's fucking great.
So we ended up just incorporating it. We ended up incorporating it back up above the stairs. So now they go upstairs. They have their little smoke area.
So good. I'm so glad you did that because as a stoner and someone who's high all the time, it's so fun to have that little area where we can just all mingle. And Colin loves it. Every time he sees me, he sees me, he runs up. He's like, Gear, are you high as fuck? because I'm high as shit. And I'm like, you know it, bro. And like, Colin's great.
Yeah, man. Colin was like the little shepherd for that herd too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He's actually wanting me to incorporate something new into the club map. Basically, it's going to be a whitelisted button for Colin. He's going to do a little audio clip for it to assemble what he calls the stoner rights. So he's
Nice.
going to assemble the stoner rights, but it's going to pop up a signal like a bat signal, right?
Oh my
And it's going to
god.
shoot a bat
That's
signal
so
to the
cool.
middle
So
of the
That's
everybody
amazing,
knows.
just a
Oh, that's
giant pot
amazing.
leaf to
Yes.
round the stoner rights
Yes,
up
that
around
is
the
great. I
smoke table
love
up
that.
there. So I'm still working on getting that finished and put into the world. Of course,
Yeah.
I'm still working on the VIP lounge and make it a little more aesthetically pleasing up there.
Yeah.
And another thing that I'm doing is, as you know, most people in VRChat have ways to like, their avatar can fly up, or their avatar you
Right.
can do play space move, and you can crawl up. We have people that'll like try to manipulate their way up there and to look in the VIP box or
Right.
disturb people that's up in the VIP. So I got to
A
working on
few
like this
things
little
to work
system where you
on.
can hit a button
Right.
and it'll
Well, you
this
could just
animation
make
is going to close like
you
shutters.
you could just make, even though they have that, you could make a thing that's see-through, so they can't go through it. It's a solid
Oh, a
surface.
collision
But
box,
yeah, collision
absolutely.
box, a collision box. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I thought about taking one more step step to a troll and having it so on collision, it'll do a collision check and teleport the person who's trying to manipulate their way
Yeah.
through the world
Yeah, that'd
back
be
to
great.
spawn, make them respawn. But I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, it's
But
something
for now, I want to
simple,
build
but
the shutters that slide closed, like
yeah,
like you see if it was like a bunker getting ready for a bomb or
that'd be
something.
cool. That'd
But
be a
it'll be
cool thing.
transparent from the inside, but the outside you'll see the shutters close.
Yeah.
So that'll be kind of cool.
It's fun to hear like other world ideas from other creators because Tiger and Lab and she's in a club. Well, how do we word this? Tiger, are you there right now?
I'm here. I'm an
Okay.
admin for a club that you
Yeah.
DJ at that's small and growing.
It's growing. So I DJ primarily for Party Zone. We're having an event this weekend, which is exciting because it's my birthday.
Because it's our
weekend,
birthday.
So yeah.
Oh.
It's
Yeah,
a dual birthday
It's a
for
dual
us.
birthday because hers is when's your
The 23rd.
the 23rd and mine's the 30th. So we're just collabing and doing it on one weekend. It's gonna be fun. That's this weekend.
Heck yeah.
I'm
But like
DJing.
seeing what it
so-
went from, like you even started as something
Yeah.
newer and rougher, and
Right.
seeing how like the expectation has been raised for the most popular clubs nowadays. It's a lot of hard work.
It's hard work, and you gotta
like
stay
now,
on top.
like I started learning doing the process, watching what he does, and it always amazes me.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a community effort though. Like you can't do it alone. That's the best part about
No, you
it.
absolutely cannot.
Mm.
Well,
When
people will
Alcoholics
try.
Unanimous, when Alcoholics Unanimous started, it was just 10 of us. We were all hanging out, drinking in VRChat, and then VRChat crashes, right? And you can't log in. Something happened, so we all joined a voice call. We were all hanging out, still chit chatting, and but more people. There were more than 10 people there, and in one voice call,
Yeah.
you can only have 10 people, right?
Right.
So they're like, "We need to do something. We need to do something." I was like, "I've got a Discord. Let's get everybody in there." And I did. We got everybody in the Discord, and that's kind of how AU started.
Right.
But those founding members, those 10 people that joined that voice call with me, that we're hanging out with, that joined the Discord. If it wasn't for them helping me develop the Discord, being there, showing me, basically how to get that type of community started. And we didn't really try to be a big club for a long time. We were just a hangout,
Just a
pop
group of
up,
friends. That's
relaxing
always
group
how
of
it
friends.
starts. That's always how it starts.
And
It's just a group of friends. It's awesome.
and of course, Skippy Styles, he was at the time he was an advocate for the Discord, telling a lot of people about it, getting it out, invite links. We had a captain there, and all these people just telling about the community. Hey, man, we're here. This is what we're doing. This is if you want to see what we're doing for the night, and it grew. And
Right.
I was absolutely shocked the day we hit. When we broke 1,000 members and so on and so forth. And it's just, yeah.
Wow.
But be happy with it being a small community right now. Enjoy it and make sure
it's great, and we have that close like connection, the staff, we get along, it's kind of like a little family right now, but it grows like every time we have events, more people keep coming, so it's a good thing to see, but you got to stay on top. It's tough to stay on top because now we're seeing a lot more clubs start up, and it's
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh, there's
Everybody
like an
wants to start a club.
oversaturation
It's
of
to
it.
see what clubs keep swimming instead of
Oh,
sinking.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing is consistency, the quality of your club, the quality that you deal with people, the amount of work and commitment you have to it. A lot of people want to start a club and think it's just going to get popular, then stop. That's
No.
not. It's not easy.
No.
Yeah.
The one thing
It's
that
a-
I've
it's a
learned about
commitment.
the club scene is the best advertisement is word of mouth.
Oh
You
my
know,
god, yes.
if you've got 10
Yeah.
people that say they had a great time on a Friday and they tell at least one of their friends, it keeps growing and growing to the point where you got to, I don't know. I think for the last Monday Madness, which Roll Turtle, if y'all probably know Roll Turtle.
Yeah.
Roll Turtle is helping me. He's doing the DJ lists for Monday Madness, our Monday Madness events now, and I think last Monday we had a little over 700, if I look at the numbers right, a little over 700 visits in one lobby.
Wow.
Over the course of 4 or 5 hours. It got to the
That's
point where there was
insane.
so many people in and out of the world to come hang out. And of course, a lot of those people got there and like, oh man, there's 80 plus people here. My computer can't handle this, and left, which is understandable. And to the point where we had to create a whole another instance because the world was just so wore out from the many people it's been in and out cashed into the world.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, the event Monday was amazing. I had a blast. It went really well. So, props to the people that set that up. It was really well done. So, how many DJs do you have Monday? Well, let's talk about DJs for a minute because, like as a DJ, it's fun to like have other DJs, and that's another community in itself is like the DJ community
Yeah.
because we all know each other. Um,
Mhm.
but so what are your events? What events do you have? Like,
Well, there was the one that I used to run, like I mentioned, the Twisted Thursdays. That
Yeah.
was, that was before I took a break from hosting for a while. But that was a repeating event that I run for AU. It was every Thursdays from like, I want to say it was like 8 to 2. But yeah, and speaking of Turtle though, like Turtle was like straight up, he for a little while he was like my headliner. Like
Yeah.
for every event. We basically like he pretty much had a permanent spot without it being an actual permanent spot. I just would be like, "Hey, yo, Turtle, you down for Thursday?" And he'd be like, "Oh fuck yeah, dude, I'm down. Hell yeah."
Right.
I'm like,
That's
"All right,
Right.
awesome.
word."
That's great.
But yeah, no. Oh, drift.
So, what
So,
else?
But
You
yeah,
have Monday.
well, we
yeah,
have
there's
so Monday Madness is what we call it. It's our
Yeah.
Monday event now, and this coming up Monday will be a month that it's back. We took quite a bit of a break from it. As with most events, people kind of get burnt out on it. It's the
Right.
same repetitive thing, same kind of thing going on. A guy who is a former staff member, he used to run Monday Madness. About a year ago, and he moved on to another Discord, got a different staff role, wanted to kind of dedicate himself more to like the dancing community and stuff like that, since we're kind of more of a social community, and which is perfectly fine. And then we kind of stopped doing that for a while, and then that's when Colin picked up Wobble Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Now, Wobble Wednesdays has been on hiatus for a little bit because Colin kind of got overwhelmed, and not just Colin, but me especially, with the whole thing. It just became a serious repetitive thing, and and there's a lot of competition on
Yeah.
Wednesdays now. When
Yeah.
Colin started Wobble
oh my
Wednesday,
gosh,
it
yeah.
seemed like nobody was doing it a Wednesday event. And then, of
Yeah.
course,
It-
our Friday and Saturday events, our Power Hour Friday events. If you've ever been to college, you know what Power Hour is. It's where you
Yeah.
take a drink of your drink every minute for an entire hour. And then we have some wonderful people who make videos through YouTube with that. So they'll do like 1 minute song clips and be like, cheers, and another minute song clip, cheers, and things
Yeah.
like that. Or
That would be fun to
glasses clink
time as a
together.
DJ. That would be really fun to do the timing for
Oh,
that.
we've had some power hours where we've had DJs come in and they'll like every minute they'll hit like the fog horn, or
Yeah.
they'll hit like a sound on their soundboard to let everybody know to take a drink or whatever after a minute.
Yeah, that's smart.
But like, so Baseaholic, he's been running our Friday events, the power hour events. He'll do like
Yeah.
1 hour of a power hour, and then we'll have DJs thrown in there. Sometimes we'll do collaborations with other Discords during that time. And then Saturdays is the same way. Our Saturday events are typically like a collab events. We'll find other communities to collab with, mix and mingle, meet other members from the community, just to kind of, I mean, as much as we all love each other and we're a family in the Discord, you party with the same people 4 or
Right.
5 times a week. You're like, man, I really want to meet somebody new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As much as we love each other, it's time to get out and
Mhm.
like, actually, intermingle. And then so we try to do our collaboration events on the
Yeah,
weekends, 'cause it seems to
collaborations
fit
are
best with
great.
a lot of people.
I love the fact that that's a big there's a lot of people pushing for it. Collaboration's great, and it's fun to have other clubs. Because right now we're in the process of partnering with who else? Tiger. Um,
I mean, right now we're with Alcoholic Crusaders, Bad Peaches. We're also paired with Fricked Up, and then uh, there's the world with oh, what was it?
Jay, our
Yeah, with
buddy
Jay.
Jay.
Drunk
Yeah.
pillagers.
Jay Soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
pillagers.
Yeah, drunk.
not drunk pillagers.
Oh, not pillagers.
No, Club J. It's
Oh,
a
Club
Club
J.
yeah,
J.
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
Club
okay,
J.
okay,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
so we're used to hanging
So
around freaking the other J.
yeah. So we're partnered with him as well. It's fun because now we have there's a lot of people, one person. How it works is, for those of you that don't know how VRChat works, if you have friends like we have here, obviously, and then I could join on, say, SmileDemon, and he's in a world, and then I meet people that he's with, and it's really, it's a cool feature because in that fact, say someone comes to our events and they're from another club, people can join on them because they've been to other events, they have friends. It's I don't know, the collaboration of the community is great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everybody just it's very close and tight knit. But
Yeah. Speaking of collabs, I actually just did a collab. What was it? A couple of weeks ago on Wednesday. It was like right after we stopped doing like Wobble. Well, no, it wasn't right after, but it was a couple of weeks ago. I actually did a collab with VR Palace.
yeah,
Yes. Yep.
yeah,
With them.
those guys
Yeah,
Yeah,
are
that
that was
one
a
awesome.
went
good
pretty well.
event. So
We
Yeah,
had about like
they're
80 people at that
80,
one.
90 people is enough to it was
Yeah.
enough to kill your frames, that's for sure.
Yeah.
yeah,
But there was
Yeah.
quite a bit of people there. VR Palace has got a wonderful world too. If you've never seen their world, it's very very
yeah,
Oh
pretty.
yeah,
They're
their
actually
world's
doing a big revamp of their world. Try to make it a little bit more optimized because the big popular thing now for the DJ worlds is audio link. You got to have
yep,
audio link on stuff,
yep,
so the music's playing,
Mhm.
certain lights are going on. But if you overdo it in the world, it's like having 10 or
yeah,
20 unoptimized avatars always in your
exactly,
view
Yeah.
because of the
yeah,
post
And they
processing is
they
a
did
nightmare.
mention they did mention that they were going to be rolling out an optimized update here pretty soon.
Yeah,
that's
I
cool.
remember him talking about that. Yeah.
It's
So
fun though
And
Danimal.
because you can meet
yeah, and
friends, you join their Discord, and then it's just connections upon connections, and the community grows really well because of that. Um,
yeah, and honestly, that one started from I don't know if you went to Mend Your Mind, the
yeah,
music
see,
festival that
I
just
I,
happened.
I DJ'd at Mend Your Mind, and
Oh yeah, that's
Mhm.
right. Yeah,
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 you guys
yeah.
were a
Like
part of it, right? You were
yeah,
one of the main clubs. Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe so.
and we hung
Yeah,
out. We hung out
yeah,
there.
we were part of it, but they never asked us to help host anything, so we just advertised
Mhm.
for them,
Yeah,
hung out and went to the
yeah.
event. So because
It
they
was.
by the time we got involved, they had all their hosts taken care of.
Yeah,
So
it was pretty well, taken care of. And we had hiccups, but it went really, really good. Like as a staff member, it was fun to see like the behind the scenes of how this thing works. And then to be DJ for something that big was awesome. Like it was so good.
mhm.
And we
Well,
raised so much money. We didn't think we'd hit 8K. Like what the fuck?
yeah.
You know.
Right,
Oh, that's what the final number was. Holy
It was
cow,
like
that's
8,400.
amazing.
8,400, yeah.
8,400. Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
And the goal originally was 1,000.
The goal was
yep.
just
Yo, that is
1,000. Yeah,
amazing.
that's what the VR chat community can do. It's amazing.
Mhm.
And like to be a part of something that big, it was so like it was awesome. I was just and you guys were there hanging out too, I met like
Yeah, no.
I went
Just
each night. I went every night because it was just like friends, hey, more friends, and there were nights people that weren't there the other nights were there, and I met new people, and I met so many cool DJs. The event was amazing. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
like in that whole collab that I was talking about, like we started like literally I think I was just having a conversation with like Turtle or what no, I was having a conversation with one of my friends from BR Palace and I'm just like, hey, yo, I found this cool map. We should go host a little pop up there at some point after Mend Your Mind.
yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, 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 totally. Let's go check it out later. We got all that settled, and then we came back to Mend Your Mind. I'm like, yo, we need to find some DJs. I'm like, hey, yo, Turtle, we might be doing a pop up later. You down to play? He's like, oh, bet. And then over my shoulder, I hear Abaddon. He's like, oh, you're doing an event? Yo, I'll play too. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
okay, yeah,
yeah.
hop
yep.
on. And then Oye mate, he's like I'm talking about it like the
Yeah,
next
we
day.
had him
Oye mate, he's just
DJ
like,
for
hey,
us.
I'll
Yeah,
play too.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Oye mate, he's
he's
cool.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm just like, oh, we might as well just turn it into a big event, like an
Yeah.
actual event. And then I hit up like Carson, or was it Cruel that I hit up?
I'm
But
pretty sure you talked to me about the whole collab thing. I
yeah,
could be
yeah,
wrong, but
I talked to you first, and you
by
said
the
I
way.
was the first non-manager to do a collab.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and it went. So this whole 80 to 90 event people started from just a conversation that me and like two other people had, and it turned into this big old thing. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that
I
I
mean,
guess that
that's
just
how.
goes to show
Yeah,
like
that's
how
how
close
it
people
goes.
get.
Yeah.
Well, it's a funny thing about VRChat is people, we come here to, one, see our friends and people we've met, but also to meet new people and to build, our own virtual life experiences. And I mean, I explain this to a lot of my friends who are just like, man, I don't want to go out. I don't want to go to the bars. I don't want to go to the clubs because of COVID and so on and so forth. I'm like, bro, $300, go get you a Quest 2, air link it to your PC. It's not going to be the best thing, but it's going to get you
Yeah.
started.
It'll get you
You
started.
know,
Yeah.
And that's
and
the other thing is like the it's tough having friends that are in Quest because they can't join all the
Mhm.
worlds. So it's good to have
like
a
the whole
Quest
air link system.
compatible. Yeah. It's good to have Quest compatible worlds as well. And it's just, that's huge because
Well,
our world is Quest compatible too.
well, I'm
Yeah,
a huge.
Lab actually just got a Quest 2 to be able to test Quest compatibility. He ended up going out and buying one just for the sole purpose of optimizing it.
Yeah.
I'm on the Quest 2 right now. I'm typically an Index person. I've got to get
Same.
RMA on my cable. But I'm on the Quest 2 right now, and I've tested the virtual desktop, the AirLink, the Link cable. I've been around it, and believe it or not, I think that the AirLink works the best out of all of them so far. I love the fact that I've got multiple play spaces set up in my house. I
Yeah.
can literally get up from my desk, walk into my bedroom, plop down to go watch a movie, still have my VR headset on, and it's completely wireless.
Yep.
I ain't got to worry about.
That's great.
I mean, don't get me wrong; it's very difficult to do full body
Index
tracking
tried to
with the
set my
Quest 2.
house on fire twice. I got little qualms with Index. I
Yeah.
got a set of
Exactly.
faulty
Yeah.
controllers. So when I went to plug them in while still wearing them, luckily, it fried the
Oh,
plastic on the
fuck.
inside, overheated,
Oh,
and both
shit.
times it would
Jesus.
have caused fires if it didn't happen while I was in VR.
Yeah.
And I
I
had
mean,
cable replaced.
they have
I'm
their
pro Index,
issues, but
but their technology is just like so finicky. I mean,
yeah.
my Index headset finally crapped out on me in close to 3,000 hours. I mean, the controller went bad on me really quick, so I had to do the whole one-handed movement through VR where you open
Yeah.
up a menu and move
Oh
around.
man.
The thumbstick went bad
Oh,
on
Oh
it very
man,
quickly.
that's bad. That's kind of
Yeah,
annoying, but
it happened in the middle of a stream too, and I was so aggravated because we were doing like an escape game and I
Oh.
couldn't move anymore.
yeah.
But then the
Oh
cable
man.
eventually went out on me. But
That's the thing. Yeah, things could be finicky, especially with these headsets. But shout out to everyone on Twitch. Hello, welcome. Glad you're all here. We do this live every week. If you guys want to keep watching, you can. It's my podcast. We do it in VR. I think what do you think, guys? Do you like doing it in VR over like cam?
today,
I
when I've been sick all day, absolutely. I get to hide my face behind a sexy snake lady.
Yeah. Well, it's fun because we have this podcast set, which I'd worked on the world, but I hadn't published it, and then I was like, you know what? Let's start doing them in VR, and we've changed the layout a little bit, but I love it.
VR made it ideal when people didn't want to do cams or guests who didn't
Right.
want to be
Yeah.
cams.
yeah,
So it's
I
fun
think
to
VR is a fantastic idea of doing it for sure.
yeah.
So um, yeah.
It's fun
I mean, I
because
like
it's
what you've
like
done so far. It's
it's simple, but it's
manipulating some physics here.
It
it's
does what it
it's
needs to do.
right.
And the biggest part about it is one of our big things, which we'll hopefully get back to soon, is watching the documentaries before podcasts, because most of our podcasts are, talking about weed legalization issues with that based on a show we all started watching together.
And
And
Mhm.
really
well,
getting into like marijuana issues, which is
yeah.
super relevant to like me. Like you just got your medical
I
card
just
here,
got
it's
my
not even
medical card.
medically
Yeah.
legal. And it's something that I would want to use for like treatment. Like there's just so much to it that you don't think about, and we watch all this shit. It's just crazy to talk
Yeah.
about.
They just need to legalize it already. It's
Yeah, they
absolutely
do.
stupid.
Oh
There's,
my
It
there's,
is
there's
gosh.
dumb.
Yeah.
there's too many
So
positive benefits about it. My poor
yeah.
mama, God love her, she's got fibromyalgia, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically where
Oh
if
yeah.
anything touches your skin, it hurts.
Yeah, the
So
nerves open fire, right? And it causes
Right.
pain.
Yeah.
right, so I can't even hug my mom without her being in pain. But
Yeah.
That's
I
fun.
got her some Delta 8 gummies, which are legal in my state,
Yeah.
so they're
Yes,
not the
Delta
full.
8 is so
Yeah,
good.
Yes.
Here's
So
the
It's
thing.
fun
It's
substituting.
helped so many people, and
She came over to watch because I am one of the I do have children, so she came over to help watch the grandkids one day while I had to go do some schoolwork because I was in college, and she's just like, I'm just so sore today, son. I'm just going to sit here on the couch. I was like, here, mama, try some of these gummies, see if you feel any better.
right.
And by the time I got ready, it wasn't even 20 minutes. She was up like singing, washing my dishes. I'm like, I
Yeah.
thought you wasn't feeling good, mama.
Yep.
She's like, I feel a heck of a lot better now, and she
My
wasn't in pain.
Great.
My favorite
It's great.
example, something similar to that, is when they have the guy with Parkinson's. He can't
think I've
sit
seen that
still. He
one.
can't control his body. They have him put
Yes,
the
I've
drop,
seen that one.
oil
Yep.
under his tongue. This
Yeah.
man is laid out, relaxed. He can control all of his motor functions.
Yep.
It's a good thing, and I don't know that we've talked about it for the past several weeks about how, it's just a lot of people, that's what the stigma of
There's so much
stoners and
beneficial.
it's
There's so many beneficial things that could happen when that happens. Not to mention it's good for the government that they're earning in tax money. Remember you told me
Yeah.
about Colorado, about their budget exceeding 10 times what it was because of the taxation on marijuana or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
It's, I don't know. I've said it before, and I think in about 5 years shit's gonna change, because we'll have people out of office and politics and bullshit. I think within the
Yeah.
next 5 years
The
shit's
age
gonna
gap
change.
transition.
The age gap, and a lot of people look at the states. Look how far it's come. Look how far it's come now. California, or it was Colorado first, and the next episode we're watching actually talks about what happened when
The green
Colorado,
rush to
the
Colorado,
green
why
rush.
people
Yeah.
came, what they did,
I think I've heard
their
about that one.
reasons.
And so, you know, Colorado started first, then you had California legalize it, then other states started legalizing it, and then you see medical legalization. 27 states are medically legal. It's, so that's
I'm
amazing.
not fucking one of them.
Yeah,
Sucks.
that does suck. I just got my medical card today, so, it's 'cause I work construction. I beat my body to shit, but so it's nice to be able to have that as. And I smoked weed before. I'm not gonna lie. I've smoked weed before, but it's relaxing. I feel fine right now. Just got a new tattoo that's right here that used to be on fire, but now it's numb because we're good. It's medical. It's just a struggle because I wish a lot of states would legalize it more
When I discovered weed, it
recreationally.
helped a lot with my health. I
Yeah,
have Crohn's and colitis. I've been on the same medications for 10 years. And the only times I ever went into remission was the time that I was able to, actually get a hold and smoke marijuana.
right.
The Delta 8 is great, but personally, I don't find it as effective as
No, it's not meant to
You
be.
just
definitely
smoking a
need a
joint.
lot
I feel like I'm
more.
not a real stoner anymore. When's the last time I actually touched a joint or smoked a pipe in the park, hiding in the woods with your friends?
Oh
Right.
my God,
I miss
yes.
the stigma.
But it is
Honestly,
fun.
low
I mean, it
key,
is
it's
fun.
nostalgia.
Let's actually. I'll ask you guys. When was the first time you guys really got high? Let's hear your stories. Carson, do you want to
Man.
start?
Oh God.
Yeah, I'll start. This is actually good fun. This is a fun story because I got the living tar beat out of me because of it.
Oh
So,
Jesus.
oh yeah. So my father,
Yeah.
he's passed
Yeah.
some time now, but he smoked a lot of weed, a lot of it, and I was young. I think I was probably, I don't know, 10, 11 years old, right? And at the point where my parents would still have a babysitter come watch me after school for a couple hours before they got home from work, right? So it was always an older girl. I think she was like maybe 16 or 17. And we were, just hanging out in the yard. She was just doing her own thing, whatever a teenage girl did back then. And she's like, "Hey, Carson, you should go up to your parents' room and steal a cigarette for me." I'm like, "A cigarette? All right, cool, whatever." Older
Right.
girl, kind of cute. She's
Yeah.
my babysitter. I've heard the stories. I'm gonna go do whatever I can for her.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I run up there, but I mean, I'm young at this point in time. I really don't know. A cigarette's a cigarette, right? No,
Right.
my dad had some pre-rolled freaking joints sitting on his
Oh,
dresser, right?
shit.
So I go up there. I'm
man.
like, "Oh, here we go." Grab one, round downstairs. I'm like, "Here you go." She's all like, she looks at it. She doesn't say anything
Fuck.
about it.
Oh,
She just fires the
no.
damn thing up in my
Fuck
clubhouse,
yeah.
right? Like it's
Hell
nothing.
yeah.
He's like, oh hell yeah.
And then like, she's here, you want, here, you try it. You puff on this thing a few times. And I'm like, puff. She's like, no, you gotta inhale it.
Inhale
You gotta
that
exhale it.
motherfucker, yeah.
Savage.
So
amazing.
here I am, a young child, baked out of my
Getting
fucking mind
stoned.
when my
Oh
dad
my
comes home from
God.
work, right?
Oh my gosh.
He obviously keeps track of how many he's rolled or ready for him, as most people would. And he
Yeah.
found out,
Mhm.
and yeah, so I definitely couldn't sit down proper for a little while after
Oh,
that. But yeah, that
fuck,
was the
that's
first time.
amazing.
Learning
You're
to
like,
smoke, that's always just such an
Oh,
awkward
yeah.
phase.
That's amazing. I
Mhm.
remember the first
But
time I got high. Fuck. I like the first time I was at a friend's house and he's like, "Hey, you should play this guitar." I was like, "Okay," because I've been playing guitar forever. So I'm sitting there playing it. Pulls out his bong and I'm like, "Oh shit." He's like, "Yeah, you want to smoke?" I'm like, "All right," because I was raised religious as shit, but I'm the black sheep of the family. So like I have tattoos. I don't go to church. I'm the black sheep, but so I'm like, "Fuck it." So I was nervous as shit, and then I smoked, and I'm trying to play the guitar, and I'm like, what are chords, bro? I couldn't make my fingers work. I was fucked
chords?
up.
Man was zooted.
And then I went to say, this sounds great, and I went, this smells great. This guitar smells great. I was fucked
What the
up, bro.
fuck?
It was great. But yeah, it was my first time. What about you, Demon? Let's hear this story.
Oh fuck, man. Oh, okay. Little bit of background. I was in Boy Scouts.
Oh
Surprise, surprise.
yes. Hey, I'm an Eagle Scout. Let's go.
Hey yo, same here.
Hey,
Hey,
this
next
guy.
is an Eagle
Hey.
Scout.
June 26, 2016. Always remember your date.
2017. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
July.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no. Oh shoot, yo, it was at a camp out, and my patrol was infamous for being the stoner patrol.
Oh yeah. Hell
Um,
yeah, dude.
yeah. We and all of them, everybody else on the patrol, they all went to the same high school. I was the only one who
Yeah.
didn't go to their high school, so I was a little bit of the kind of the outsider guy, but
Right.
I still hung out with them.
Yeah.
There's this one camp out we went on, and they brought an ounce with them
Jesus.
to this camp out.
Hell yeah. It's a lot of weed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they had planned to smoke the whole thing that weekend.
Oh,
And
that's
I'm like,
amazing.
yo, and they're just like, hey, do you want some? I'm like, sure, I guess.
Hell yeah.
And so we were all sitting by the campfire, right? And he had the ounce with him in his bag, like in a little baggie sitting next to the log that he was sitting on. And our camp was a little bit pushed away from everybody else's, but we had our little campfire. We were smoking. It was
Yep.
good. We were just chilling, and we were using the campfire to light it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
That's great.
it was great.
The
Bro,
irony.
listen, as
But
an
what
Eagle
was
Scout.
funny,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So the funny part is that apparently we started started getting a little too loud. So one of the adults came over.
Oh no.
We panicked.
Oh no.
He grabbed the bag and threw it in the fire.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
I look at him like, oh
Oh
no.
no. No.
So the adult comes over and he's like, hey, you got the noise level's getting a little bit loud over here. People are it's midnight, people are trying to sleep.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're all stoned out of our
Oh
mind.
yeah.
We're like, uh-huh. We're just like eyes are popped. We're just like, uh-huh. Got it, sir. And he's like, what's that smell? We're just like, we don't know. We've been spilling it this whole time, but we didn't think about anything about it, right?
Right.
And we're just like, oh yeah, we smelled it too, but we don't know where it's coming from. He's like, huh, that's weird. So he left. Oh my god. Not 30 minutes later, we just heard laughing throughout the entire camp. Now keep in mind this is like 60 boys and like maybe 20 adults.
Oh shit.
Everybody,
Oh
almost
no.
everybody
Oh
got
no.
fucked.
Oh my god, bro. It's like a viral high. That's
Oh,
amazing.
it was because the smoke,
Yeah.
it just rolled through the camp.
Oh
Because
my
like the
god.
wind came through. The
That's
wind came through and
amazing.
like fucking pulled all of it. And I'm just
Bro,
like,
that
fuck.
whole fucking Boy
I've
Scout
always wanted
troop
to do
just
those things
high
where
as
I've seen
fuck.
those
They're
hot
just all
box
Oh my
zooted.
videos
god.
where people
Mhm.
get like the mattress blow up and they put like a big ass bowl on top, set the whole thing
Yeah,
on
yeah,
fire,
yeah, yeah.
like
Wait,
hot box their
so
whole fucking garage.
did
Mhm.
you
But yeah,
did you
we
get
he
any
fucking panicked.
repercussions for that?
Nobody figured out where it came from.
What
Nobody,
the
because everybody was too
fuck?
fucked up.
Bro, that's
Nobody
amazing.
investigated because everybody was too high to investigate.
Holy shit, that's
They would all be
amazing.
accomplices at this point,
Yeah,
guilty by
that's amazing.
association.
It's amazing.
It was great, but yeah,
Holy
that was my
shit.
first time. I'm like, holy shit, this is what it's like.
Yeah,
Turns out it's not like that every time. Only when you get like
so
fucking contact tie from an ounce.
that's
It's
amazing.
definitely different each time, especially when
Yeah,
you're
Yeah.
that young.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely.
amazing. So, I like psychedelics. I'm gonna be honest. They're
Mm-hmm.
amazing, but
Right.
that's just me. I don't know. What do
I
you
mean, I've
get?
had a
Like,
bad trip on mushrooms. It's oh.
yeah. Jaden, what about you? You enjoy them or?
I do. I do
Yeah.
indeed.
It's oh man, that is wild. And there's so is it Oregon? I think Oregon's the first state to legalize
Yeah,
mushrooms.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was.
So that's amazing. So
Well,
this
Yeah.
I'm going
it,
up to Michigan, and Lab said something about there being like a city where shroom in where he near where he's at, where shrooms are legal.
huh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Down to a
I
city
lived in
Yummy.
level. That's interesting.
I lived in
Hey, I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm gonna have to dip out of here. I have family that just came over. The podcast ran a little late, so I have
You're
Oh
to dip
no.
out.
good. Hey,
Sorry to
thank you for
interrupt,
being here
but
be
though.
safe, Jaden.
yeah. It's nice meeting you guys. I hope
Nice
to
meeting
Nice
you
meeting
too.
party
you
with
guys.
you guys one of these
See
days.
you
Yeah.
later.
Absolutely.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
See you
waiting
guys.
for like yeah, here we go. Identity theft. I am Jaden.
Identity theft. So we have these little placards that it was my idea. Well, all of this was my idea, but I was like, hey, it'd be kind of fun to have like our little nameplates and stuff, and each of them have our own like
Someone just sparked up.
oh, someone did. Each of them have this our little logos or whatever we wanted on there. So that
My
little
logo is my
Mm-hmm.
fucking waffle.
yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
No, well, it's something to connect with you, because like Wolf, he always wears Spartan avatars. You have that terrifying waffle. Don't. Oh God.
Oh
Look
no,
at
is
this
she gonna wear
fucking
the
thing.
waffle? Oh my
Look at this
You
god.
just
fucking
hide under
thing.
the table. Hold
Oh,
up.
that's terrible. I can see it on cam. It's nasty.
Terrifying.
So that's her little icon. Jaden's got a little cute bear, and then I've got my logo. So, the customization is kind of fun.
Yeah,
But
chat says they love the waffle. I have support.
oh my God, is that
Don't
GG? GG in the
encourage it.
chat.
Don't encourage it.
Oh, it's terrible.
Bad
But
Yeah. But speaking on
yeah,
like legalization of psychedelics and stuff like that, I was in Germany for 4 years as part of the military, and Germany being where I was stationed was roughly a 2-hour drive to the Netherlands, which people know the Netherlands famous for Amsterdam, but it's not
right.
just Amsterdam that think that stuff's illegal; it's the entire country.
Yeah,
So just 2 hours, upstate, up through Germany, you cross over into the Netherlands. You could literally go to a little place called Maastricht, and they had their own little version of like your little shops there. Your little stoner shops. You can go buy up to 5 grams of freaking weed, and every store you can get up like 4 or 5 stores if you wanted to. But they had mushroom shops there.
wow,
And let me
that's
tell you, man,
awesome.
I've ate mushrooms in the States before. Phenomenal. Had a good time, but they
Yeah,
look like they've been dead for weeks. You know what I mean?
right.
They
Yeah,
they look like you pulled
because
them
they
straight out of a
have.
cow patty. You know what I mean? Exactly,
yeah,
because they have.
Because they have.
yeah.
But in Germany or in Europe, man, you go over there and it's like you're at a fucking supermarket, and there's like these little plastic
That's
containers with like this
amazing.
with like the pill off, seal on them, and there's this beautiful mushrooms, and they're like picked that day,
That's
and they're
awesome.
just very colorful, and they're just very potent, very fucking potent. But we would get time off from the military over there, and I just drive up 2 hours, grab a couple of fucking boxes of
That's
fucking
awesome.
mushrooms, dirt
That's
cheap,
cool.
take them back, and just trip fucking balls, man. And like,
Hell yeah.
oh man,
That's
it was
great.
definitely a
And
good
they
experience, man.
they come like this is the other thing I'm excited to see with legalization and all this stuff. You're seeing a lot more like pinpointing on things. Like it's becoming a lot finer of a science. right? And now they've got THC cartridges. They've now been able to dose it correctly. They have different strains, and so
Mhm.
it's really cool to see how far it's
It's always
coming.
been a science. People just always refuse to admit that it was.
Yeah,
Just like,
Yeah.
with like the legal runs and actual like what is it, research at a government level, because it's of its consideration of class, it doesn't get funding for studies, so all these are done independently, which means people
yeah.
can't say like they're governmental, therefore they don't matter, because the government's not going to fund positive effects of things that are not legal everywhere.
Yeah,
Mm.
so it's
No.
but still it's amazing to see that we've brought it down to a science, and now even with mushrooms, you can get them in pill form,
Yeah.
Yeah, for
so
microdosing and
yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah.
microdosing. It's really cool. So
Dude, I can't fucking feed Nick shrooms worth of shit. He can't eat them straight. He doesn't like chocolate, so I can't put him in chocolates. He's terrible at swallowing pills. How the fuck am I supposed to get this dude high?
I don't know. Well, I mean, there's always LSD, but
What about his pizza?
If I could get any, it's like the Dinkelberg thing. This is where I'd put my drugs if I had any.
If I had
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Right.
Dingleberg.
Nah,
Yeah.
Texas just dried out on everything. Delta 8 and then CBD
Oh,
with
you're
kratom
in
are being hella
Texas?
pushed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yo,
So
I heard they're going to be cracking down on Delta 8 pretty soon.
I have a
probably.
website. I order my $12.99 a piece cartridges. I get like 7 of them for $100, and I'm stocking up.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
Yeah, my
great.
girlfriend lives down in Texas, and she was telling me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started seeing the signs. I went to see my parents in Tennessee, and I saw like it doesn't say Delta 8. It's like CBD with kratom, and then there's a little triangle with the 8 on it. So they never straight up say Delta 8. You just either
Mhm.
know what it is or you don't. And then when I
Right.
Yeah.
came back from there, I started noticing them here, and I was like, I didn't even realize kratom itself was like illegal in like 8 states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, there's this little woman, right? Since Delta 8, I'm from Tennessee, right? So since Delta 8 is legal here in Tennessee, people can basically make it or grow it or whatever and
Right.
produce it in their
Yeah.
own fucking basement if they want to. There's this little old grandma. I love her to death. Love her to death. She has her own little fucking smoke store at the flea market of all places.
That's awesome.
And she makes some of the strongest fucking Delta 8 gummies you've ever had in your life. They
Oh,
will
man.
set
Usually
you
big, like, are you
on
talking
your
about the one
ass.
that's like up road on the hill, like outside of like Maryville? Or at least that's how everyone tells me to say it's Maryville.
Merville,
Merville.
or
Yeah.
Merville.
Merville.
Yeah, I got my first
It's
experience. We went to a huge flea market. Like, it's indoor, then all the shops outdoors. It's gigantic. At
yeah,
least
I
one of the
know
ones I went.
I know the one you're talking about, but no, the one I'm talking about is closer
Okay.
to it's more east of than Merville.
Okay.
So for those
yeah,
of you
um,
that don't know, explain what Delta 8 is and why it differs and stuff.
Actually, I will Google it right now, considering I'm a desktop, and that makes it
Yeah.
easy for me to do. Just to, we
Just
always
to
do our facts,
clarify,
always double check.
there are people
Yeah.
that, like, I don't really understand the difference in why it's legal versus,
All
other.
right,
So from what I've
this is a
found-
U.S. It's an FDA page. Delta 8 or cannabinol, also known as a psychoactive substance found in cannabis sativa plant, of which marijuana and hemp are 2 varieties. Delta 8 is one of
Oh, that's
over
probably what it is. It's a
100
variety.
naturally
Different plant.
produced by the
Yeah.
plant, but is not
Okay.
found in significant amounts in the plant. As a result, concentrated amounts of Delta 8 THC are manufactured from hemp-derived. So
Yeah.
it's a hemp derivative. It's not
So it's not
technically straight up marijuana.
marijuana.
It's hemp trying to be marijuana.
Yeah, basically.
And it does its job
They've also
well
got
enough.
Delta 10 too.
Yeah.
right, yeah. So Delta, they've got different versions of Delta, and basically, it's if you look at it on a molecular level, it's how the molecule is made.
Right.
Oh, that's
They're very,
crazy.
very
This-
similar, but they're not exact.
Yeah.
So,
This
and how
has
and how
crazy
they get
stats on it.
Yeah, so how they get around with making it legal is because they're basing it on back to the scientific. Like, hey, you could say this is illegal, but just because this
Right,
slightly
so it's
looks
down
like
to-
it doesn't
yeah.
mean it also is illegal.
That's a
So
smart
that's the reason why
move.
Delta 8 gets. And
Cough, Adderall.
right, exactly.
Dude.
What meth? I'm just kidding.
This is
Anyways,
crazy.
but
National
so
Poison Control got 661 exposures.
my experience of the differences is standard THC that you would get from smoking, marijuana affects me to the point like I get extremely paranoid on it,
Really?
and
Yeah.
even if it's just like the dirt stuff, the cheap stuff that grow up in the hills, none of that potent stuff. For me, it affects my heart rate too much, and I get extremely
Huh.
paranoid. And I
Interesting.
don't like smoking standard THC. I don't like the effects that it gives me.
Right. And that's the
I've
other
also
thing.
got
Now
some
you
people.
have like sativas and indicas, and so
I've
you're
tried
able
them all,
to.
man. I've tried sativas, I've tried indicas, I've tried hybrids, a mixing of the two.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I used to smoke a lot of fucking weed when I was younger. I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
We would drive to Kentucky. We would take the subs out of the back of my car. We would put several pounds of weed in the subs in my car, drive them bad boys back to Tennessee, and we would have our stock with us and all of our friends.
Yeah.
I think
But the
that
thing
like
is it
similar
just
to you is it hits, but it doesn't pull the wool over your eyes. Like you get out of your head, but it doesn't zonk you out to do nothing. Like I like being stoned and wanting to do shit,
Yeah.
and Delta 8 lets me do that. Whereas
Exactly.
otherwise, it just you get too zooted and you're
Right.
like gone.
So, like
Yeah.
with Delta 8 though, being prior service military, have aches and pains, knees and stuff like that, where they kind of beat
Right.
the trash out of you in the military. It just kind of takes that away.
Yeah.
And then I have a hard time sleeping at night. I have a hard time going to sleep, whether it's from PTSD or being on high alert, because I was a combat medic.
Yeah.
So I'm used to being on high alert. It's the slightest sound in the house will get me up, and I'll wake up on high alert, like there's something need to be done, because I was a
Right.
medic for years in the military.
Thank you for your service, by the way. I
hey,
appreciate
Not a
it.
problem. Not a problem. But with like Delta 8, and I tried the whole what's the freaking melatonin, taking
Yeah.
melatonin to help me sleep at night, and it got to the point where my body was not producing melatonin on its own, so I was
Yep.
just kind of cranky. I was more cranky. I wasn't able to sleep unless I took it. But with Delta 8, I got my little Delta 8 pen, hit it a couple times, curl up to the pillow,
Yeah.
and just sleep like a baby, and
That's
and
awesome.
there's just no there's
We-
no issues with
We did a
it. So
podcast
Yeah.
about veterans and about them being given all the other medications in
Yeah.
states that weren't weed legal, especially
That
groups of
was-
veterans that advocate for marijuana because they'll give more and more opioids before
Right.
they
Yeah.
would tell someone to smoke a joint, and it's
yeah,
sad.
I won't even touch that shit.
That whole
I'm a
episode.
fresh head though.
Yeah.
That whole episode.
You can give me a
was
Tylenol
really
3
good.
and I'm fucking high as shit, man. I can't touch fucking
I got a
painkillers,
story
man.
about that.
They
Oh,
affect me
I
differently,
wish.
man. They affect me differently. They fuck me up.
No one will give me
I
pain
got
meds.
Yeah.
I can't do them. I get
I don't
sick.
like
Like if I take a
pills.
Hydro
Yeah, I
5, I
can't.
had my fucking wisdom teeth taken out, and they gave me liquid Lortab, which is liquid Hydro 5.
Oh, jeez.
And taking a shot of that like you're supposed to, I'd just get nauseous. I'd get sick off of it. I thought I was
Yeah.
allergic, but it's just because I'd just be too fucking high off the shit.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
See, I have had a kidney stone kicking around for about a month. They won't give me actual pain medication, so I started self-medicating with kratom, and at some point I threw up blood. So I kind of stopped doing that.
Oh,
Jesus.
But like when I was younger and I had kidney stones, they'd give me stuff because we actually looked at the ranking of drugs, like class 1 through 5.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, they'd always prescribe me everything class 4, like tramadol, that kind of stuff. That's all class 4. And now when I go in for my kidney stones as an adult, they're giving me something, like hydrocodone, which 1 didn't help the pain, but 2, it's also a class 2. So why would you give
Yeah.
younger people harder drugs?
I don't know. The whole
I don't know.
I don't know. It's interesting, and like I said during that episode, this country's so heavily medicated. It's rough. It's really rough. Like
I look for natural ways nowadays. I mean,
Yeah.
it's I look for all types of natural solutions. Smoking marijuana is a natural solution. Microdosing certain things, it's natural as long as it's it comes from the fucking earth. Yes, a man may manufacture it into substance, but it comes from the earth. We're not making molecules up in a chemical fucking environment with
Right.
crystal meth, for an example.
Right.
It's
we ain't got Walter White out here giving us our shit.
yeah, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like you go pick a fucking plant, you roll it up, you smoke it, man. You got a toothache,
Yeah,
man. Grab
exactly.
some fucking,
And
the
you're-
Native Americans, man.
Yep.
Fucking smoke some goddamn
No.
peyote. You know what I mean? I mean, it's fucking there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
I remember right. I think Lab said he was growing cacti.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's just like standard opium. Like you could grow your own
Yeah, big
opium
pharma
and
health care.
and
Yeah.
take it the way it's meant to, but if you manufacture it into an opioid, then you're
Yeah.
adding it, making it more powerful, you're condensing it, you're doing it not where it's meant to be. And then, of course, people build tolerances up for it.
Yeah.
I have lost a really good friend of mine, Denise. God love her. I wish to God she was still in this world. I got her into gaming. She met the love of her life playing Final Fantasy XI online.
That's awesome.
Moved her ass to California, got married. But before she did all that, she got really bad off on pain medication, taking oxys and roxys and all this shit, right? Because she was in a tremendous amount of pain, and this is what the doctors just gave her and then cut her off. You can't give someone a script and then give them nothing to get over it.
Yeah.
And so she went through withdrawal. She had all kinds of problems. She stuck her head in a video game to get out. And she would love this. She passed away long before VR was, a thing. And she would absolutely love this type of environment. And she would live in it like most of us do. And I wish to God she was still alive. But, she got so bad off on this stuff. Then, of course, she moved to California and met the love of her life, got married. It's so funny because if you've ever played Final Fantasy XI, she was a Mithra.
Yeah.
Which is a cat girl running around back before,
My
we all knew
roommate
what Nico girls were.
Yeah.
And then she met this guy, Kazuma, Paul, good guy. And he ran around as a little Taro. And it was just the cutest thing seeing these two run around and flirt around on a console-based game because we're all playing this back when PlayStation 2 was a thing, right? And then, of course, she moved out there and she relapsed, but she couldn't relapse and get something medically given to her in California. So she had to go down the bad road, and she ended up getting freaking heroin. And then she tried to dose herself like she was previously dosed, but she'd been clean for years. So she didn't have the tolerance. So she ended up losing her life to it.
Damn.
When if weed would have been legalized, she could have just went down and got a fucking card and just got fucking high and fucking dealt with it. But nope.
Damn.
It's easier to get heroin than weed sometimes.
Eventually comes back to like the alcohol versus weed debate, which is like the first major one everyone wanted to make, was that no one gets high, and it does different things to everybody. Most people don't get high and then go want to beat someone.
Right. Know. It's,
like most of the time with me and my buddies, we just want to like fucking, I don't know, go to a party and chill.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there are people that have adverse effects, and those are the people that are taken out of context to bring down the ideals. And that's the problem, is the outliers.
Right. It's the one person that
the more
makes
weed I
everybody
smoke,
else
the more
look
groceries
bad.
I gotta buy. It's a lose-lose situation. You gotta buy weed, you gotta buy more groceries. Then you gotta buy more weed, then you gotta buy more groceries. Like, fuck, man.
Yeah, bro.
It's the you finish the chips, but there's still dips. So you gotta have more chips, but now there's no dip, but you still have chips. So you have more.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
The struggle is real. But yeah, no, I love being stoned, and now that I have my medical card, it's great. I can do this all the time, and it's, I don't know, that's relieving, but it's frustrating because I shouldn't have had to worry about it in the first place. It's
So, off topic here, just to kind of hash back because my brain's finally catching up. We were talking about Worlds earlier and world creating, and you're DJing at Worlds. One of my favorite things to do to ask the DJ that's played, especially at Club AU, is what do you like about the world and what do you not like about the world?
Okay, I'm glad you asked because I have a lot to talk about. My favorite thing has to be the weed couch upstairs. Obviously, I took inspiration. So,
right.
That it's a fun community to have up there. The layout is impressive. The way it's laid out is it's nice because you have the spawn room, then you go in and the stairs are on both sides. That's nice. That's a nice touch. You have the little bar upstairs. You have your VIP room. And then all your toggles. You have tons of toggles for all the lights. That's a smart move. I like it when that's an option because some worlds don't have that. The DJ booth is accessible to everyone. That's super nice. You don't have it blocked off. Some worlds, like our world, Party Zone, we have it blocked off. But it's different for each club. Each club does it different. But I like the way you guys do it because ours is blocked off so no one can access that. But the DJs can't, so. But yeah, that's
we have like game rooms behind the DJ booth too.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay. That's cool.
Usually for DJ events, we lock the side rooms just because you don't want to go into a lobby with 40 people and there only be 10 in one room and the other 30 chilling in the game room,
Right.
So we do lock the back room. The back room has like never have I ever, yes or no, and I've got a whole bunch of other stuff I want to put back there. But another thing I got back there behind the DJ area in that game room is we've got the voice amplifier. So if you're playing Never Have I Ender, whoever's standing on the voice amp, amplifies their voice so everybody can hear them clearly for it.
Yeah, we have a similar thing in Party Zone. That's awesome.
Right. But the reason why I asked is because we've had some DJs come through in the past and be like, the main room is too big. I'm used to playing in like a small box, something like the size of this room right here.
Lit is a perfect example. A lot of DJs start at Lit because it's one of the easier clubs to get into. So that's where a lot of DJs start. So they're used to that smaller environment, kind of underground feel. And then when they get in there, they're like, "Holy crap, this is way big!" And and a lot of that has to do with the focus of the crowd. DJs love crowd like focus, and if the room's all spread out, they people are in their groups and whatever, and they're not really. That's what they're not used to. And I'm guessing that's where most of their problem is. But I love that feeling that you can, because I stream the world when I'm DJing, but so I'll stream the world and have like everybody in frame. So it's I like that the world's the size that it is. But yeah, no, it's as a DJ, it's fun to see that. The pool is another thing, and it's right there on the ground floor, which was a smart idea. Whoever put that there is genius because it's also in view. So that's great.
Yeah, we put the card table down there too, so that if people decided to go play cards, it's still in the view of the DJ's cam.
Yeah.
So you can see everybody in the back of the room, chilling around the card table and stuff like that too.
We had that at our last event. Like, I think especially when it was you, we had like 20 people at the card table.
Yeah, that's always a big hit. I would like the beanbags to have toggles, but
so you can click them and sit on them.
Yeah. But
don't even start with me, Gigi. We talked about a hot tub. Go yell at Lab.
I got a hot tub. There's a hot tub in our dance floor. You turned the hot tub on before.
To put it on hot tub, and I'm just...
You just put it on a toggle.
A hot tub,
that's what we did. Yeah, if you want it, toggle it on. And we do it local. Don't do it global. Things like that. Yeah. That's just my advice. So the Club AU's definitely evolved a lot over the years. So it's officially a spaceship traveling through space. If you've ever seen the Skybox, you're outside of a giant lava planet, and there's asteroids and stuff around.
Yeah, that's really cool to open up. Like you can open up the ceiling in there.
Yeah, I've got a couple of side rooms I'm adding onto it. Eventually, one of the private rooms is going to be the cockpit. Yeah. So you're going to be able to go to the cockpit area, and you're going to see like where you would be controlling the ship from, and then you'll be able to see the skybox on the outside, and you can lock it for private room reasons. And there's a couple other things I'm building on there. That whole club used to have like this underground basement, a kind of kitchen. I'm in the process of repurposing that and making it look like a cargo bay. So there's going to be a cargo bay area. Yeah. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting up different areas for DJs to play in. So if we're doing more of like
DJs,
so like instead of going,
like how ZDU does it.
Yeah. So instead of being able to go to the main room, the main red room as we call it, where you're used to seeing the DJs play, if we're doing like an underground DJ, you'll be going to the cargo bay. So there'll be a bunch of cargo crates around, like a small little DJ setup down there and stuff like that.
That's crazy, bro. That's gonna be some work. Woo! Scheduling DJs.
It's what I do. It's what I try to do. The world. I don't know if you've ever been there. It is set to public. Been there, outside of an event. But if you go there outside of an event, the whole world is accessible. Yeah. If you want to go there and just hang out with your friends, VIP's open. You just walk up in there. Doesn't matter. Anybody can go in. We only lock certain areas down, lock it down for the events because not that I want it to be a popular public world, but we have some Discords who like the world and they use it on their own. But I don't have time to go through and set all the toggles up and whitelists for their community all the time and stuff like that. So they just go there. It's already open.
Yeah.
So they just go and use the place. I really like doing that. There's a lot of the clubs out there who have their entire public world locked down. You walk in, you can't do nothing unless you're the owner, the codes, or you're whitelisted. So there's really no point in being there unless, of course, you're at an actual event. I like it. So, We have people that come there and just play beer pong because they like the beer
Yeah.
pong tables. They'll come in there, open up the world, and just go play beer pong because they like
It's
the tables.
crazy
So
because there's like your club's so big, and it's great, and it's grown so much. And then you have clubs that have started that are smaller. I've been to several that are popping up right now, and they're a smaller venue, and it's interesting because I went to what is it? 7D. I went to one of their
mhm.
events, and their club,
Yeah.
like their club is cozy. It's got a cozy feel to it, which is different from yours, but yours is also a good vibe too. It depends on the night. I think that's really what it depends on is like the environment and the night and the event, you know.
Mhm. Well,
So
you were there last Monday Madness. There
yeah,
was probably what 20, 25 people almost the whole entire night on the dance floor
on the
dancing in
dance
front of
floor,
each
yeah,
DJ.
yeah, that
And
was
then
great.
I think 5 out of the 6 DJs didn't even stream the world. They were all just
Yeah,
visualizers.
yeah,
But I was like, you got all these people. I was like the DJ that comes in that streams the world. There's like 3 people on the dance floor. The ones that come in visualizers, 20 people on the dance floor. I'm like,
yeah.
why?
I don't know what that is,
So
and sometimes it's not always the case, but
yeah,
yeah, I'm thinking of switching over to a visualizer, but I like my layout the way I do it because I like
the,
hyping the crowd up.
yeah, and you really should. We had a Trexian come through last Monday, and I love the way that his is set up. His is a
Yeah,
virtual environment. It's a
yeah,
visualizer, but you see
I
his helmet whenever he's
yeah,
DJing, right?
it's
And it
great.
mimics him doing it in VR. But like the way that he ended his set last time,
Oh, it
oh
was
my God! Like
amazing.
he switched the camera around
Yep.
and was like running around the crowd and doing all the flashing and stuff. Man, I was just like,
Holy
I
cow,
could
it
not
was.
believe. Yeah, he hyped me up, and like so we've been doing this DJ stuff and these types of events for a long time. So like you hear a lot of the same songs, a lot of the same style of
Yeah,
musics, and then when somebody comes through and can hype you up like that, you're like, wow, that
yeah,
was freaking fantastic.
yeah, and I
And it was
found,
new, it was different, and it's
yeah,
something that's getting harder and harder to do right
it
now.
is. It
Is
is.
to make something new, and that's the problem with a lot of the new
Hmm.
clubs popping up right now. Is you know it's you got to find your new stitch
Right.
to get
Everybody's
people to
got to
come
be
hang out.
unique in their own
You
way,
know,
which is good. So,
some clubs will have an underwater theme, so like all their main hosts and avatars are like fish people or fishes or sharks or sea
I
creatures,
bet
and
Mindley
their
would be right at home
and
there.
their world is a fish tank under the sea, and that's their
yeah, there's
theme.
a bunch of stuff.
Hmm.
So,
And it's pretty neat. It
VR
really is.
chat's getting
So
wild. VR chat's
Oh
definitely
my
getting wild.
gosh, VRChat
So,
has been wild. It's just gonna get
yeah,
even more
yeah.
so.
I'm trying to
So,
let's
remember
let's just
here. I
um,
don't know if you knew this person, but there was a public world open one day. I wasn't there, but somebody sent me the video and told me what happened. Is people were hanging out in a public dude, and some dude decided to stream himself on Twitch. This dude goes. I thought Butters told me it, but I don't see it in my chats with him. But essentially, so this dude is streaming himself on Twitch, goes to jump on one of those like put in place poles, like not one of the screw-ins though, and everybody just hears him crash, and then
yeah,
everybody
no,
goes,
I know
there's
that.
a 10-second delay in the stream, and then there's the video of him
Yep,
falling with the pole that shows up on delay. I don't remember who
yep.
told me about it.
I
I
saw that
remember
stream. Yeah,
I had it sent to me. I can't remember who it was, but it was
I
the
think it was from
funniest.
Josh. I think Josh's server sent that. That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
cheers. By the way,
Cheers.
Oh
I've
yeah,
just been drinking by myself this whole time. It's fine.
Ugh.
All right.
oh,
So
party
we are
foul.
nearing the end of the
Hey, I'm a casual
podcast. So
alcoholic.
yeah.
Hey, it's
I
okay.
used to be a good alcoholic, but
I've been
I
drinking.
drank yesterday and I'm paying for it today. So the idea
Yeah.
of alcohol is bleh.
All right.
Got that
Well,
tequila warming the
I'm
belly up.
drinking this whole time too. I got some spiked hot cocoa.
There
Pretty
you
good.
go.
hell yeah. Well,
It's not so
ladies and
hot anymore,
gentlemen,
but
we are towards the end of the podcast. Thank you guys for being
We've been
here.
our hour.
Yeah, it's already been an hour. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Time flies when you're having fun. I love sitting
oh yeah,
down and
definitely.
just, chatting. That's
Turtles
why
is
I
like
love
got a
this
new bottle
podcast.
for tonight.
Hell yeah, it's gonna be a good night. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
guys, we do this every Thursday on this Twitch, and we'll be live, every Thursday. So look forward to that. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here. This has been great. Cheers. Have 420 cheers
Yeah,
as
cheers.
well.
Yep.
Have a
There
good
you
one,
go.
ladies and gentlemen. We will
Oh
see
fuck yeah,
you
bud.
next week. Bye bye.
Bye.